Bienvenue dans Cultiver la biodiversité, le podcast qui vous dit pourquoi la biodiversité c'est un trésor à cultiver.
Cultiver la biodiversité, série spéciale Semences paysannes du Monde, épisode 2. Bienvenue dans ce nouvel épisode de la série spéciale Semences paysannes du Monde. Cette série, réalisée en partenariat avec le CCFD Terre solidaire et enregistrée à l'occasion des rencontres internationales des semences paysannes à Antibes en octobre 2024, nous embarque dans un tour du monde des combats pour le maintien de la biodiversité cultivée et des semences paysannes. C'est l'occasion d'avoir un aperçu de la gestion des semences, mais aussi du système agricole de plusieurs pays du monde. Aujourd'hui, c'est Mélissa Chader qui interroge Adam Mabunda d'Afrique du Sud. Il représente l'ONG TCOE, qui veut dire Trust for Community Outreach and Education, le fonds pour la sensibilisation et l'éducation communautaire. Avec Adam, on a parlé de la question d'accès à la terre, de changement climatique et de pauvreté. Les semences et la lutte contre les OGM sont aussi des sujets centraux pour l'ONG. Cet épisode est aussi en anglais, mais comme pour le précédent, on vous a mis en description un lien pour lire la traduction en français. Et le prochain épisode sera traduit en français directement dans l'épisode. Bonne écoute!
Hello Adam, and thank you for accepting this invitation of this interview. Can you present yourself and your organization, please?
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to represent my organization and my movement. I am Adam Mabunda, coming from South Africa, from a farmers organization called Mopani Farmers Association, which is working with a national movement called Inyanda National Land Movement. All these movements and associations are supported in the main by an organization, non-governmental organization called Trust for Community Outreach and Education, TCOE. So our movement, as I said, it's a national movement. We deal with so many aspects of people as people, issues that affect people, the issue of land, the issue of climate change, the issue of hunger and poverty, the kind of politics that is leading the world now, the politics that suppresses a large number of people and is in favor of just a few. So our movement is really looking at all those aspects, but we have special programs. As an egalitarian movement, we have programs to teach our people at large how to fight for their rights, train one another. We have political schools each and every year to keep us abreast with the politics, to say how do we fight back. We have programs to deal directly with land transformation. The issue of land, it's one that is actually creating a lot of havoc in South Africa in terms of how do people get to produce, how do people get employment. So if we fight with the way we are fighting when it comes to land, we believe we are trying to lessen the burden in that some of our people will have employment. If one or two people gain access to land, they will till the land, they will build a structure and put up a business and employ this person. And in so doing, we are busy fighting hunger. There's a lot of organizations within our movement. There are fishers, there are people who are coming from, I don't know what do you call the sharks in this region. I mean, abantu bakuhlale in Mikuku. People who stay in shacks, not proper buildings. I don't know how to. So we have all these people coming together into this movement to make sure that by far we fight the capitalism that we still experience. We fight the colonization, because colonization has not ended. As we speak, we have the colonization of the mind, where people are meant to move away from things that did work for them, thereby being promised things, that there are certain things, or there's a certain environment where they are going to go okay, only to find that wherever they are told they are going to be okay, and between where they are told they are going to be okay and where they were, they are dumped just in the middle of nowhere, between a rock and a hard place. So we are trying by all means to fight such systems. You find that people used to consume their own chicken or certain food, but they are told this is not good for you, move away. And just like now, if you look at our youth, they don't consume the free range chicken that we rear at home. They will rather go for broilers. Now, as you might know, between the indigenous chicken and the broiler chicken, the one that has good health is the indigenous one. But because of this colonization of the mind, the marketing that is bombarding all the media, our young persons are so confused. They don't even know what to eat. They think eating ice cream and drinking 100% juice is far much important than drinking water. Hence, we are stuck with hospitals which are full on a daily basis. So those are the social ills that are still brought about by the continuous colonization. So this is what our movement is doing. This year we will have a land conference, still trying to tell the politician that please redistribute land evenly, even though we know that very little will change, but we believe that as we change little by little, eventually we will get there. We have realized that the politicians are no longer caring about the future generation. Politicians only care about their generations, their families, and their pocket. So this is something that we also teach our people to be careful when it comes to putting a new government. We need to be very careful when we choose, we vote for members who are supposed to serve us at the national level. So though it will come some years to come, but we are busy in our little corners, raising awareness into our people that this is the way to go, and then explaining what we do as a movement.
Thank you very much. Can you list the 10 approximately most important events or risks who play a role in the agricultural production in South Africa?
Yeah, the risks in agricultural production in our region. Number one will be that of climate change. You see, climate change in our region is really creating havoc, not only to farmers, because it becomes very clear when it comes to farming. But let me talk of the biodiversity. Why biodiversity? Because most of our people in South Africa are rural, are staying in rural areas. And the rural areas will be having the veld, the rivers and tributaries here and there, wherein people derive a living from. Now, with the climate change as it is, you go to the veld now, you're not coming with any fruit. And 20 years ago, 20 to 40 years ago, There was no way you could go into the forest and starve. You will go to the forest the rest of the day and come back full. You will just eat for the sake of eating. To date, you go to the forest, you are not going to find anything, not even a single fruit. You go to the forest, you cannot find a rabbit, a mere rabbit. And those things were very essential for people's livelihood. The way the rain is no longer raining, even your backyard, because most of our people do not have taps like you have here in families. People will go to the river to fetch water. There is no longer flowing water in rivers, let alone in tributaries. So it becomes even difficult to harvest the little vegetables in your backyard. And when rain used to come, a household would be having so much dried vegetables. So you don't have dried vegetables, you cannot get your edible insects from the forest. There are locusts, there are termites, there are certain worms that are edible in South Africa. So all those things you don't get. Therefore, even economically, you can see it is affecting our families, in that in a household where one person works, a household of 10 people, for instance, where one person works, that person has little meager salary, has to be supporting everyone else. So economically, we are being affected by climate change as well, environmentally and politically. So yeah, those are the challenges that I see happening to our agriculture. And agriculture becomes very expensive. It becomes very expensive in that you have to buy seeds. If you harvested if you've sown your maize seeds in 2022, there hasn't been rain 2022, 2023, and this is 2024. How do you go on propagating the seed? Because not even one is going to come out of the maize. So as we try again to save the seeds, when the climate does that, you've just lost. You are going to have to go around and ask for indigenous seeds, and they are disappearing bit by bit. After all, you might know of the Svalbard project in Norway, which is actually meant to dispossess us of our indigenous seeds. I think it's working, coupled with this mad climatic condition. So yeah, that's why our agriculture is suffering. Though we are trying hard with projects or programs of the likes of agroecology. As farmers, though it's difficult, we try in little pockets to implement, because it's the only way, the way we see it. We don't have any other option. Because if you do your agriculture agroecologically, the cost of production becomes very less. There's so many good benefits about agroecology. Even the food that you eat will be beneficial to your body. You won't be a frequent visitor to the hospital. Your brain will work correctly. You won't be infertile. Blah blah. There's just so many benefits. Yeah.
Thank you. Can you tell us more about GMO seeds?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're doing a lot of awareness about GMO seeds, since we know it's very much clear to us, more especially as a movement, that GMO are only here to put us into deep adversity. In that, number one, you cannot reproduce a GMO seed. If you cannot reproduce it, it means you have to be buying it over and over again. And buying means you have to have money. The money that is so scarce these days due to the way the economy is, due to the climate change again. GMOs have very serious adverse effects in human lives. I mean, we have a research team that I forgot to mention in our movement, which will go all out in finding out facts about GMOs. Now, they came up with conclusive evidence that GMOs will give you diabetes in the long run. GMOs will give you cancer, GMO, hypertension, blah, 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 blah. You will be visiting your hospital every time. And, going to the hospital, it's money. Especially our rural people, like I told you, most of our members are rural people. To go to the hospital, you need money that you don't have. When you reach the hospital, a state hospital, they will tell you, we do not have certain medication. They will prescribe medication that you are going to buy, though they will give you some of this useless medication, but they will prescribe the expensive ones, such that you go and get in the pharmacies. So with the money you don't have, now you go to the hospital because you are eating of the wrong stuff. GMOs are actually perpetuating the extinction of our very own seeds. Look now, we no longer have sufficient indigenous maize in South Africa because people were lured into believing that GMO is the way. And even to date, so many farmers who are outside our movement, you will find it very difficult to convince them that this is wrong, because they will tell you your indigenous maize will take 6 months to produce. I mean, to can be used. Your GMO only takes 3 months. How am I gonna be paying the employees at the farm if I have to wait for 6? So, forgetting the better good that ultimately comes out of the indigenous seed, because indigenous seeds, it's not harming your soil, it's not harming your environment, it's not harming your health. The only good thing about the GMO is that they can mature in 3 months, but they give you a hell lot of challenges in your life. So we're busy trying to also make people aware of that, even those people outside our movement.
For you, what is the relationship between farmers and farmers' seeds or varieties?
Yeah, most of our farmers, we have a very good relationship with our seeds. Though it never came easy, it was after a long walk in awareness raising that we need to be using seeds that are reproductive. We must move away from hybrids and GMOs. For our very members, it's clear that we are moving into seeds that can reproduce, because we have already realized that it's very cost effective to do so. Yeah, I wonder if I'm still answering that question correctly, but I have a feeling that I've said a lot about what I wanted to say.
The question was, what is the relationship between farmers and farmers' seeds?
The seeds that we have are seeds that we believe will take life to new heights. We believe that if we are going to be educating one another about the dangers of the seeds that did not originate from our locality or our region, we are most likely going to be productive. We are most likely going to produce food that will be enhancing much of the life that we seek to live. So yeah.
Thank you. And I have two more questions. Can you list 10 actions with positive impact and 5 actions with negative impact on your agriculture?
Let me start with the positives. You see, number one, agriculture is the backbone of any nation. So we believe that agriculture, there's actually nothing that you can do in life in South Africa or anywhere in the world without agriculture, because as I'm speaking to you now, as you seated where you are seated now, it's because you've eaten. The energy you get from the food that you've eaten, it's agriculture. The level of concentration that you're giving me now, it's because of the food you ate. The way I'm talking to you now, it's because I have the energy to can think and talk. It's agriculture. So it's a very positive benefit of agriculture. Agriculture in my area, it's the biggest employer. If you go to my village has about 4,500 people. It's a small village. We are nucleated, but 4.5 thousand out of the 4,500 people, half the people will be working in agricultural, in farms and agricultural environment. So you can tell it is pushing our economy. Agriculture produces, like I've been saying about agroecology. Our people, instead of frequenting hospitals, because we produce food which are much healthier than the GMOs and the hybrids, people are not going to hospitals often. They are no longer frequenting hospitals. So because of the food that we produce, so that is another benefit of this agriculture. Coming to the negatives, of course, are being brought to us by our leaders. In that, the agriculture, it's divided into two, if I may put it. There is commercial agriculture, which is dominated by whites in South Africa, and the other traditional agriculture. With traditional agriculture, the funds will be like a drop in the ocean. Meanwhile, if you look at it, the traditional agriculture, it's safe for the people because it produces food that does not harm the lives of the people. But ironically, it will be funded at a very lesser degree. The conventional agriculture, a lot of money is pumped into it. Ironically, that agriculture is the one killing our people. But we understand that our government is in a sweetheart relationship with Monsanto. It is clear because even in 1993, South Africa is the one country which admitted that the GMO maize be used as a staple food in South Africa. The whole world. I don't think there's any other country that actually allowed for GMO to be staple food. It's only South Africa. So you can see that is a very serious disadvantage because I had already mentioned the negative impacts of GMOs. Yes, trying farmers are not supported. It pains our movement so much. Despite trying by all means, we are trying. We just believe that at the end of the tunnel, because nothing will not end in this world. Colonization is ending. Capitalism shall fall, though it will take time. As long as we keep on fighting, like we're doing, because the people that are here, I can tell, these people are activists. They want to see a completely changed world. So all these little actions will pay off in one of the good days.
Thank you. I have one more question. What is your hope for the future?
Oh, you will have to take it from my last statement. But you see, I am hoping to see the world which will be in harmony with itself. And in order for the world to be in harmony with itself, it starts with the people. Because it's actually people who ruined the world. It's not animals, it's not the environment, it's people. So I'm hoping to see people who will be working together like we are doing here on a continuous basis. People who will come and sit and discuss issues and come up with resolutions which will be binding, resolutions which will be implemented, resolutions which will change the world. Like there has to come a time where we say, as this forum, we tell United Nations, you see, we don't want you to do 1, 2, 3 anymore. We want you to do 1, 2, 3. If that time comes, I now can sleep and rest in peace, because we won't be suffering from climate change anymore, because we can begin to mitigate, because now the topic of the day will be mitigation. But in the period where everyone understands the direction to which everyone must go, we will be able to do away with climate change. We will be able to do away with hunger and poverty and inequality. So that's the world I so much dream of.
Thank you very much.
I've realized that most of the members that are here, if not all, are activists. You can tell from the way people talk that they are being pained by whatsoever is happening in the world with regard to the subject matter here. So I'm very impressed to understand that it's not only us, even you white, but you feel the pain that we are feeling. So we are the same. I'm very happy to understand that we are in the same boat. I'm very happy of the subject matters, the topics of the commissions. You know, there reached the time when I thought I understand better about seeds. But from yesterday to today, I can tell you I've learned a lot, something that I've never known, and something that will make me a changed person who will be able to change the world. So, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Et voilà, on espère que cet épisode vous a plu. Notre étape en Afrique du Sud s'achève ici. Grâce à Mélissa et Adam, vous en savez un peu plus sur la situation agricole et sur les semences paysannes en Afrique du Sud. Un grand merci pour votre écoute. Dans le prochain épisode de cette série, on partira au Brésil. Si vous voulez en savoir plus sur ces rencontres internationales des semences paysannes, organisées par le réseau Semences Paysannes, la Maison des Semences Paysannes Maralpine et l'association Sol, vous trouverez toutes les informations en description de l'épisode. Et si ce podcast vous plaît, n'hésitez pas à le partager pour le faire connaître. Et n'oubliez pas, pour sauver la biodiversité, mangez-la!